sounds, but in reality, it wasn't like that. So what I'd like to do, there are some numbers on the table, and if you can volunteer just to pick a number up, and the number will correspond to a subject I'd like you to talk about. So in relation to from Jamaica to England, what's the significance of Dettol? Because I couldn't leave this without talking about Dettol.
Dettol is a disinfectant, as we know, and also when you get bruises and cuts and maca running your neckles, and Dettol is a like how some people use surgical spirit, and what does the hospital use? Probably other people know. For cleaning wounds and Dettol.
So did you use Dettol in back home as well as England, or was it when you came to England you started using Dettol?
Me know Dettol back home.
Yeah.
Me know Dettol in a one little small bottle.
Yes.
I can't tell you what is written on it now, but me know J's and Dettol from Jamaica. I don't think I got to know it because I come here. I knew it from back there. J's and Dettol.
Thank you. Anyone else? What number have you got?
I've got 12.
Number 12. Travel. So getting around. In comparison, comparing back home and England, how did you manage to get around and find your way?
In Jamaica, we used to walk from one district to the next. We used to walk for like miles because the days we were so poor. No one had a car or whatever, or we'd travel on mules or donkeys. Because my grandfather had a few mules, and he had some things at the side called amper. And I can remember being a small child. I was in one side of the amper, my sister was in one side. I can remember especially at Easter, when he used to go and collect the bun and the cheese from one district to the next. I was sitting in the side of one side of the amper and the bun and cheese, and you'd ride for miles. Travelling, as you know, came on the aeroplane. And even when we came to England, we'd still walk, because my dad didn't have a car. You'd walk
there weren't many cars when we came
we'd
in.
walk everywhere. You'd have to walk from miles, because we lived St. Anne's to Mapley. We'd walk everywhere. And even as a teenager, if you went socialising, you'd walk in. And even now, I walk everywhere. I'm still active, you've seen me. I walk. Because when the family says, do you want to lift? And it's still in my memory, walking. And it's active, it keeps you active. I'd rather walk than get in a car or whatever, unless I'm going on my holidays and you're flying or you're going somewhere far, but like a couple of miles or 3 miles, I can still walk with ease.
But then you had to contend with this weather.
Yeah, but you wrap up well and you put your boots and your socks and still, told you, my generation, we've walked on ice. on your butt, on your 2 feet, on your bottom, and you fall down, you'd slide.
Wow.
And we made it fun, and we'd play in the snow, and we made it fun when we were walking.
So, where did your support come from?
My support in all my lifetime, my life.
Yeah, Jamaica and England. Where was your main support? Was it how did you get support? Who did it come from?
Both from, because there was always a family home and gathering, and family then, there was community spirit and everything like that, so auntie has just as much right, to help and structure you as your parents. Everybody does, because it's a family thing. No one person, rear a kid or anything like that. So basic teaching was there, and it obviously followed on when I came to my parents here. So they were there as my support in every way, whichever way I wanted. They were there.
Do you think we've lost that now? Have we lost that helping each other, family, that
I
neighbourly love.
do think we have lost the community spirit, not only in family, but usually you care about the lady down the road or the elderly person round the corner, and this is something that was inbred in you to care for others, and it's only the other day we were talking about the same community spirit that somehow it has been lost.
Can you think, Lily, why that might be, in your opinion?
I think work and prosperity, if I may say.
Yes, say it, sister.
Has caused us to be selfish. Some of us, of course, some of us still have that inbred thing in us that we must help and respect, and share. It's still there. I think this independence and work and money has really separated people.
You find that if everyone's in the same boat, so to speak, you're in the same situation, the same social, financial situation, you tend to find communities help one another gather.
Yes.
But as we progress and, like you said, make money, become more independent, we tend to lose that.
Yes.
So it's, a lot of you were saying it was hard coming here, growing up, leaving your family, but it made you strong.
Yes.
And I like that. My generation, my son's generation, we don't really know what it is to struggle. We say we do. There is struggles, but there are different types of struggles.
Yeah.
But I think there is value in it. It gives you grit. It gives you determination to get to where you want to get to. If things are too easy, it's not good for any one person.
I think a lot, me personally, I think we've lost respect for each other.
Yeah, we do.
The young people have lost respect for our elders. I mean, I call all these ladies my mothers. I know all their names, but I respect them by calling them my mothers, and I will continue to do that. And I think that young people today have lost that respect, and I think sometimes it's us as parents has not instilled that in our children. When I was a young girl growing up, I would not dare pass an elder without respectfully saying hello, whether I knew them as family friends or not. Now I see young people that I knew them before they were born, and they're looking at me like this, like, well, that kind of attitude. I couldn't do that. I could never do that. So I think prosperity, trust one house, regular pay package, we become sophisticated, we become selfish and we become superior, where we were all in one room with pill and with chimney. Now, because as a child growing up, our front room was actually my bedroom with a screen around it. But now when I see children quarreling because they don't want to share rooms, I'm like, when I was your age, I didn't have a bedroom. My bedroom was the front room with the screen around it. And on a Sunday, when my dad and his friends were playing dominoes, you had to be in there. So I think we become selfish, and we want our children to prosper. Yes, we want them to do well, but we've lost the art of saying you have to be respectful. When I hear grandchildren calling their grandmothers by their first name, that is like ants of my body. How can you? But it's there. It's there. Or you go on the bus, and mother comes on the bus.
Yeah, tell me about that.
And they're sitting there. They're not getting So I think as a community we have lost that respect, and if we haven't got respect, then
manners has eroded down in the years, and it's the same way in our community. From we meet, I was mother, you was daughter, Jackie was the same. But if you, and myself as an elder, you can't even go and hug a child. You can see a child crying And you dare not go and touch that child, because that child will turn on you. And it grieves me, because that's how we used to give love in our community, how we were brought up. And I agree, the manners situation, and it's not only among us people in the lower strata of society. When I say lower strata, I don't mean it derogatory.
Economy, yeah.
You know, but it's something, it's breaking down. There's something here that's breaking down, and it needs to be mended if we're going to really find love and support.
I believe that respect was lost when my generation, the first generation blacks, were born here, because I was brought up with my grandparents, and they instilled a lot of discipline in me in the home. But going out into the educational system, there was no need to have respect, because the teachers were not giving it you, and I was told respect is earned. So it wasn't. But then, I work with a lot of young people, and I wish I'd brought one of the young men here today. He's irated because he sees a lot of elders on the streets, and he says, "Hello, mom. Hello, dad." And some of them turn around and say, "Me are your parents?"
No.
So he now is saying, well, how do I address my elders if I can't say mom and dad without them getting angry? How do I address them? I went to Jamaica the other day, and I was telling you, there ain't no manners there. So I'm thinking, how can my grandparents want to instill manners in me here? I went to Jamaica, and those kids over there have got no behaviour, they ain't got no manners, they cuss bad word, they swear, they're doing whatever they're doing. So where's the manners gone? Where's the manners come from?
And where did your emotional support come from? Now, this generation, in this day and age, it's all about mental health and well-being.
Yeah.
So I want to know, well, what was your experience? Where did your support, your emotional support come from when you were here? So if we start with work life, and I heard Mrs. A talk several times and mention the word general. I know what general is, but we need to share it. We're recording this. So when you talk about general, what is general?
I mean General Hospital.
Okay, because
General.
my mum worked in General Hospital.
Really?
Yes. Pam Carty.
No, I left General. I went there in 53, as I said, last day, and started. Then I left in November because I was having a baby. Got married, and then I went to Grantham. And while I was in Grantham, I had my baby and left her, night and day care with this lady on Conway Street. My husband called me and said, "You better come home and look after your baby," because I go there and her face covered in nose knot and what have you, and that is something we don't tolerate. So I became friendly with one of the nurses, and her parents. They didn't own the pub. The brewery asked them to run the pub for them, and when we were off, 8 o'clock at night or 5 o'clock, she'd say, "I'm going home." But because my name's Trifina, they didn't call me Trifina, they called me Nina. She says, "Come on, Nina, let's go down to Mom." And I would go down there and she would ask me, and it was strange. I know Grantham is still a prejudiced town, worse in England, but that woman, I'm sure she didn't see black. And she asked me where I come from, my mother and my father, and then I touched the baby. She says, "Oh, I'd love to see her." And then I went downcast, and I told her what happened. She says, "You just, when you go home next time, just bring the baby. I'll look after her for you." And that lady became like a mother to me. If anything happened to me in Nottingham, I'm on the train or on the bus, I'm going to Auntie Rose. And so I got a lot of support that way. And then after that I had my other child and I couldn't go back to Grantham, but she still had my daughter until she was school age to come back to. And then those days you couldn't, if you're married, especially if you have children,